What's the American dream to you? No. What is it to you as an entrepreneur trying to pursue business? What is it to you? I want you to really think about it. And I want you to write it down if you need to, because as I go through this video, I want to see if you hold on to that belief of what the American dream is or if you make a change. The American dream was first coined by James Adams, not President James Adams, but author, historian James Adams. He wrote a book in 1931 during the Great Depression, and he coined the phrase American dream. The American dream to James Adams was something that was romanticized, something that was a fantasy where people would not be judged by whence they come, and that everyone had the equal opportunity to achieve it through hard work. Now, the American dream has evolved, and in my opinion, the American dream is really a con and a hustle. My gosh. I know you're going like, why are you so negative, man? You're teaching about business and you're saying it's a con and it's a hustle. I recently went through an experience and a light bulb went off in my head. I'm going to share this experience with you a little bit later, but I do want to dive in and discuss 3 things that I think are paramount in debunking what we think the American dream is and showing what it really is, a con and a hustle. I challenge you to come along for this ride and let's explore and see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Let's get started. Hey, welcome to a random podcast where we challenge the status quo and we empower people like you to think differently. Yes, you can grow up to be whatever you want. You can even be the President of the United States of America. You can achieve anything if you work hard and put your mind to it. This is the load of bull that was fed to us growing up. Once we became adults, we realized, no, sir. The game is rigged. And I know you're going like, hey, you're teaching us all this stuff. Why are you saying it's a hustle? Again, the negativity. Okay, I'm going to break down the American dream. The Oxford English Dictionary states that the American dream is as follows, and I am going to read. The ideal that every citizen of the United States should have an equal opportunity to achieve success and prosperity through hard work, determination, and initiative. We hear everybody say, man, all you got to do is pull up your sleeves, man, and work hard, brother, and it'll happen. Well, there's a missing part to that. It's called equal opportunity to achieve success and prosperity. So the 3 things I'm going to talk about today are the debunking of this statement, the equal opportunity to achieve success. Number 1, it's going to be gender and race. Yes, a lot of people don't want to discuss it. A lot of people don't want to get into it, but I am. Gender and race. We know that there's not an equal opportunity there for people of different races or people of different gender. Women have it tough. Women don't get the same shot at success and opportunities as men. And far as it is with race, we already explored in previous videos how there isn't an equal balance when it comes to opportunities for entrepreneurs when you come from a minority class. And I'm not saying it's the fault of the person getting to take advantage of the opportunities. What I'm saying is that the system is not set up to benefit women or other minority races. And this is the problem with the American dream concept. Right? We want to tout the American dream. You can do it. We hear all these motivational speakers talking about it. All you got to do is work hard. All you got to do is grind. All you got to do is put your mind to it. And I tell you what, yes, you got to do that. You got to do everything I said in the other videos, how to go step by step. But you know what? They're leaving out that race does have something to do with it. They're leaving out that your gender does have something to do with it. And the ones who say it don't, they don't look like you, so they are saying that it's not a factor. With my personal experience, I'm going to tell you that it is. I have been on this journey, raising money, starting businesses, forming partnerships, entering different verticals and spaces. And guess what? I have faced discrimination. I have faced obstacles and challenges. And this is not to be a victim, because I don't believe in being a victim. But what I'm saying is a true reality that the American dream is not the same for all of us. The American dream is easier for some versus others. And if we both work equally hard and have the same determination, shouldn't we get the same opportunity? Shouldn't women be able to get the same opportunity? But women are still paid less in the workforce. Come on. That's insane. Whether you believe this side or that side politically, this is not a political video. This is just about the truth when it comes to opportunities. And this is one of the reasons why I decided to do this video, is because I'm giving you a lot of videos with how to navigate in a vacuum. Yes, it will help you. Yes, it will get you further ahead. But I have to tell you the truth. I have to tell you about the gory parts, the scary parts, the monsters in the closet. I can't just tell you the bedtime story and make it happy ever after. So, number one on my list is race and gender debunks the equal opportunity for American dreams. Number two, it's going to be money, finances, economics. So there's twofold to that. In my last video, I did an interview with P. Bentley, and we discussed about the disparity in funding for minorities when it comes to business. But I'm not only talking about that portion when it comes to economics. It's economics from how you were raised. If you come from an impoverished background, your chances are slimmer. It's not going to be equal. You're not going to have the same access. You might be deficient in the technology that you have. You might be deficient in the contacts and the connections that you have due to your economic position. Now, I'm not saying that it's anyone's quote unquote fault, right? And that we are blaming some boogeyman out there. What I'm saying is this is something that truly does exist. And this is a challenge that people have in trying to achieve the American dream. Now, I know I'm going to hear you say, well, my grandparents came over with nothing and they built up and they worked hard and they made it happen. Okay, first of all, I'm going to always argue with people, bullcrap on the dollar in your pocket. I done heard them stories multiple times. Yeah, you walk to school with holes in your shoes for 20 miles every day, all those kind of things. There was something that they got. Whether it was some economic boost or whether it was some connection with someone who was economically in charge or whether it was something that was infused. They didn't have just a dollar in their pocket and hard work made it happen. So I hear those stories, and yes, these stories are great when people come and they make something out of nothing if they made that happen. But that is not the norm. That is not the situation that most people face. People have determination. What you're saying is people who don't succeed in business or get this American dream, that they don't work hard, that they don't have determination, that they don't have initiative. And that's a lie. There are a lot of hardworking people out there determined with initiative, and they're not achieving the American dream because the opportunity is not equal. Now, what I say at the end of the day, you got to cut out the crying over the spilled milk, and you got to pull up your boots, and you got to make it happen one way or another. So this is not an excuse video. This is just a reality video that everything that you're doing, business plan, everything you're doing, networking, everything you're doing, you should know that there is another obstacle. And I just want to give you the cold reality with that. Number three is education. Okay, education is twofold as well. What I mean by that, one, the education level. It's a lot better now than it used to be. At one time, people were not getting high school education because of situations economically in their house where they had to go to work or whatever. But nowadays, you do have access to a lot of information. But some people get the best education due to their backgrounds and to their economics. And I'm not saying the best schools, MIT, Harvard, produce the best people, but it does get you in the door. Now, what I also say is that there is plenty of educational information across the internet. Due to the internet, you have no excuse to learn. The biggest part of this education that I want to hit on is the how to. Because we're always trying to find out, what is that secret? What's that secret? How do we get to that how to? And that's why You watch videos like mine and other people that have podcasts and other motivational speakers because you're searching for that knowledge. And as long as you have thirst for that knowledge, that's good. But that is an obstacle for the American dream. If you're not getting that how to, and maybe it's not the right how to, or you're not getting the combination to how to unlock that door with that educational information, then you might be left out in the cold. At the end of the day, what are you going to do about it? I'm going to say empower yourself by learning more. I just want to make sure that you knew the true challenges that you have trying to achieve this American dream. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to me. I've been doing the interviews for this podcast, some that you already seen, one I've been working on for next week. And I came to the realization that I have been sugarcoating. As I've been conversing with these people who I was interviewing, I noticed I've been holding back. I've been sugarcoating. I've been hiding the boogeyman in the closet when it came to some of the videos about me giving instructions on how things transpire. I've been giving you things in the vacuum because I did not want to seem biased. I didn't want to seem a certain type of way. I didn't want to seem like I was acting as a victim. So I kind of put that away. I wasn't being 100% truthful to myself and giving my truth. And that's what a random podcast is supposed to be about. So I wasn't arming you correctly. I gave you the information. Yes, in its purest form, in a vacuum, it works exactly as said. But there were caveats. There were things that were other factors that would affect it that I need to have let you know. And I need to give the dose of reality. And I'm going to start giving the dose of reality as we move forward. And some people might fall off. Some people might not like the dose of reality. Some people might just want to hear the rosy fantasies. And some people don't want to be privy to things that might be controversial. But I'm going to give you business information. I'm going to give you knowledge and growth information, raw and truthful. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Hopefully, I've been helpful. If so, put it in the comments. Also, I got videos here, like usual, that can help you out. And look forward to you watching the videos moving forward. This is your boy J.I., a random podcast. I'll see you on the other side.